How's it going? I am here with Conolly.
And I'm here with Jesse Melamed, and we're going to speak about the course for the UCI Enduro World Cup in Bielsko-Biała. What is the terrain like here?
The terrain is raw and natural, kind of like both of our homes in a way, but actually less fresh dirt than I would expect. The trails are quite bedded in.
Yeah, there's like a lot of small rocks, hey, like rocks and roots everywhere.
And the rocks and roots everywhere. Yeah, which when it goes flat for little times is kind of annoying to pedal.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
But when it goes down, it's really sick.
Yep.
Yeah. What stage do you think the most time will be gained or lost?
I think stage 3 could be a decider. There's quite a lot of flat sections, there's a lot of flat corners, like places you could carry speed, but you've got to like work to carry that speed.
Yeah.
So I think that one's kind of like a bit mental. Like if you can keep pushing, I think you could make quite a lot of time there.
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones where like if you don't pedal, you are just coming to a stop. But then I felt like when I was pedaling and trying to go really fast, I kept making mistakes and I was like missing corners.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to manage.
Neither feels nice.
No.
But I think pedaling's faster.
Yes, always.
What do you think is the trickiest stage of the race?
Trickiest stage, whichever one it will be snowing for.
Yeah.
I think we're expecting some pretty poor weather. So I think whichever stage is the poorest of weather. Because I think goggles, grips, like there's so many things that feel in your hands, you know? Yeah. So I think that's going to be the hardest thing to manage. I think we're all pretty good riders and the trails are quite established, so nothing's going to be surprising. I think it's managing weather.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. I don't think any of the stages were like, there wasn't a stage that I found tricky. There were like specific sections. Yeah. So for me, some of those routes on stage 5.
Yeah, those are
at the bottom, like
I got it.
A bit hit and
I got it once really well and once really bad.
Yeah, I got it once fine and once I didn't make it through.
Yeah. So if the crowd is there, they better not stand on the bottom side of that section because they're gonna get hit. Yep. Yeah, cool. What is your favorite stage?
I think my favorite stage is stage 4.
Yeah.
It's like got the most gradient of all of the trails, but it was consistently downhill.
Yeah.
And has a bit more flow to it than some of the others.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that one's. I really like stage 2. It's long. It's tough, but
yeah,
it also has like I just like that ground. It's like rough but grippy, and all the way down you just think you're slipping, but you're not, and it's just really fun to ride.
No, I like that too. Then there's like a few different sections to it. I feel like up top there's the flatter corners, but
it'll actually go really well. Yeah. I'm concerned that they're going to ride a lot worse in the race.
Yeah, no, I think a few more like roots will come out on those flat corners up top.
Yeah. So cool.
What is the stage that you feel most confident on?
I feel confident on all of them.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all like pretty similar. Like because like you said, they all have such different sections to them. They all have the same different sections. So not one stage is the same all the way down. They all have like pretty good ripping single track, some flat pedaling, some pumping and some loose stuff. So it's like, it's all the same. So I feel good on all of them. Yeah.
Nice.
And you?
I think I do feel a bit more confident on stage 1. Yeah, for me, maybe it was the one we rode before we got really, really cold yesterday.
Yeah.
I seem to remember the lines a bit more from last year, so I kind of was riding down, like roughly could remember where I was going, and I managed to push on that one.
That's a good one to start with, being confident.
Yeah,
start the day off. Yeah, start the day off right. Yeah. Like, how do you think the weather is going to change the stages?
I mean, we had a pretty wild practice day, hey? Lots of rain, snow, and race day is going to be pouring with rain as well, so I don't think there'll really be any change. Because all of the trails are already down to rocks and root, like, I don't think there'll be much change with the extra rain, really.
I agree. I think we saw it as bad as it's going to get. Like, maybe some more corners will be a bit more pushed, but 95% of the track is going to be unchanged. It was already, like, sloppy wet.
Yeah. Nice. Are there any sections where you feel like line choice is super important?
Yes, but I'm choosing not to pick any lines. I think there's quite a lot of flat sections with all the roots and rocks where being super precise and like pumping and carrying speed is going to be really important. But I just think that trying to perfect that for the race is going to be really difficult. And so my plan is just to attack and pedal. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, I'm going with a similar approach. I actually watched all of Charlie Murray's videos from the race last year, and he was, in my opinion, missed all of the right lines, but I mean, it didn't seem to slow him down, so...
Or main line with confidence, or whatever line you're on with confidence.
Exactly, I think in those conditions, like, as long as you're rolling fast, it will...
It's kind of what I think,
Yeah.
Along similar lines, but what is your plan of attack for race day?
I think we have to go flat out everywhere race day, like, pedal as much as possible, like, flat out everywhere. I think it's strange going from a 2-day race last week to 1-day race this week. We're back to that kind of sprint, every second counts, like, flat out. But then also, I'm going to make sure I'm carrying enough warm gear for the day because it's going to be cold and wet. So I think keeping hands, feet, everything as warm as possible, goggles clean is going to be super important.
I know, I'm kind of similar. I think I'm going to pack the most wet weather gear that I've ever raced with. I don't want to get cold, because once you get cold, you're kind of screwed, and probably have a full change of clothes for the pit when we go back there after stage 3. So
definitely.
And then I'm hoping there's some allowance for mistakes to on the race day, because I think there's a lot of attacking that you can do, but I think that when you're attacking on this loose stuff, you're gonna just be tripoding and foot out and stuff. So I'm hoping intensity pays off for just overall speed. But
for sure, and I think everyone will be making lower stakes.
I mean, there's varying levels of places you can attack. It's some steep sections where once you have gravity, you're oh sweet, I can really ride well. And then there's flat bumpy ones where you just have to force your bike to go forward, and then there's climbs. So there's everything. I think I remember last year, it's so rough and bumpy that you get really tired, and I found it really hard to actually pedal once a climb came.
Yeah, for sure. They're a bit too rough to really be able to put all of the power down you want to.
Yeah. So I remember from last year on stage 3, there was that near the top is a flat section. I just didn't pedal it as hard.
Yeah.
And I know now you just have to pedal.
Yeah, no, I know when you eat.
Just pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you changed anything in bike setup for these stages?
No, not really.
Okay.
No. I was running a pretty light and supple setup last weekend already, so I kind of carried that through this weekend.
Yeah.
It's just slight suspension changes and longer mud guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I think
the
gear changes that are the biggest thing.
Yeah.
No. But no, not too much. I feel for Enduro, we know you can't really adjust for a certain track because we have everything.
Yeah.
We have sections that are super steep and rough and rocky and fast, like last weekend, and then sections that are flat and rooty and bumpy, and so
it's got to do it all.
We can't change much. So, yeah. Cheers.
Nice.
Good luck tomorrow.
Good luck. Yeah.
Thanks.